Hi, Chris Marchetti, CEO of XL Courier here. Today I have Bill Bateman, Director of Operations for Sunrise Medical. He's a friend and a longtime client, and we're here to recognize Medical Lab Professionals Week. So we have a few questions, and Bill was kind enough to join us, so hopefully you'll get some value out of what we have to share today. So Sunrise Medical Labs has been providing a broad spectrum of clinical lab testing since 1972. Can you tell us a little bit about the type of specimens you all handle, Bill?
Sure. We collect blood, urine, cultures, tissues, body fluids, whatever. We bring that in from our field locations and test it in-house.
Great, great. What kind of facilities use Sunrise?
We have our own bricks and mortars, our own patient service centers. We have physician offices, hospitals, are the core business.
Okay.
There are some commercial types arrangements as well, especially throughout the COVID process. But essentially, most of our work comes from physician offices.
Okay, makes sense. So what is the importance of these diagnostics tests?
So the testing that's performed provides clinicians with information that they can use to diagnose and treat their patients. So you think of it in terms of if you go somewhere and get a blood test and you get a cholesterol level, that result goes back to the physician. The physician's able to determine what medication or what course of treatment they want to do for the patient.
Makes sense. They're important, right? I mean, you can't. That's the thing we talk about, right? You can't lose this stuff.
No.
And so I imagine some of the testing is even irreplaceable, right? There's sometimes like one-time testing.
Absolutely, yeah. There's specifically with some of the tissues and cultures, they have to be done real time, and they are kind of a one-shot deal. So the last thing you want to do is go back to a patient or a physician and say, "I'm sorry, you have to operate on a patient again. I need another sample."
Right, another biopsy.
So, yeah, so they are irretrievable specimens and irreplaceable.
So what we do together is important, right?
Absolutely.
You guys need to get it, and we need to make sure we're getting them and getting them to the right place at the right time, so nothing happens to them.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Can you give us a little background on the process from the time you receive the results? Try that again. Can you give us a little background on the time you receive the samples? How quick does stuff turn around and get back to the people that need the info?
Sure. Typically, most routine lab work is resulted within 24 to 48 hours. We kind of pride ourselves in turning around everything, all your routine lab work within 24. So results that are, specimens that are collected today, they are resulted out usually between 8 and 10 o'clock the next morning.
Wow, that's fast. Well, how about you tell us a little bit about Sunrise and kind of brag on Sunrise for us a little bit. Tell us what you're all about.
Well, Sunrise has existed in the Northern Virginia area for about 30 years. We've grown from a very small clinical laboratory to being part of what is now the third largest lab in the nation. We're part of Sonic Healthcare. Some of the things we do very well, we just talked about briefly, was the turnaround time. We really excel at, at making sure samples are turned around quickly and timely and accurately. So our quality is very high. We use the latest and greatest technology in terms of instrumentation in the laboratory, and we're able to meet our clients' expectations 99% of the time. So we have a lot of other small programs in-house, when it comes to the billing side or things like that we work with patients on. But what I would say our pride and joy is the fact that we are able to turn results around in a very quick manner. So.
Well, yeah, quick. So that's what it's all about, right? Well, we've been working together since 2010. Can you kind of tell us a little bit why, how did we get it? Could you dig back that far? And how did we get the opportunity?
Well, as I was thinking through this, it was pricing was the initial. You had a bulldog sales rep,
yes,
who was relentless in contacting me every week, and ultimately pricing is what got you in the door. However, over 10 years, what's really maintained the relationship has been the relationship that we've built together and the partnership that we have. I make one phone call to, your operations leader and say, I need this, and it happens and it's taken care of. So it's the personalized service. It's the feeling of you're in a partnership versus just a vendor-client relationship.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. This is a question for Bill and Chris. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say that. So you've had a pretty amazing 35-year career here, I see, working for some of the other large companies. Tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you get to where you are today?
So I started working for a small regional laboratory a long time ago up in Baltimore that became eventually Quest. So through that process, we went through several mergers and acquisitions, and eventually adopted the name Quest. I stayed there for 14 years. Had an opportunity to leave in good standing and take a different path for a couple of years, and then I went to work for their competitor at the time, LabCorp, and spent quite a few years there, bouncing from between Maryland and Virginia, and the opportunity came to go work at Sunrise. For me, that was coming back home. It was going back to a smaller laboratory where you felt like you were just part of the mix, where your voice mattered, where you could impact change, and got into this business to help patients in the very beginning. And when you come back to a small lab, sometimes you still get that feeling like you're doing this for the patients versus just doing it because someone in a building somewhere else is telling you to do it. So,
Right.
So that was kind of my journey here, and I've been here now for almost 15 years, and haven't looked back since.
Wow,
So
that's impressive. So have anything that you've noticed change in the industry over the years? What's anything that stands out?
Technology is probably the first and foremost. I mean, the level of sensitivity on just general testing equipment. So your basic blood tests that almost everybody has done are a complete blood count, a comprehensive metabolic panel, which used to be called a chem screen. It's your basic body chemistries and your cell counts. The technology behind that now, every couple of years, just advances so much, and it becomes so sensitive. So being part of a large organization that runs like it's a very small organization, you get the benefits of still being on the leading edge of getting that newer technology, and so that's huge. Specifically in the last 2 years, we've been dealing with a little thing called the pandemic, and obviously that's brought laboratories as a whole to the forefront. Laboratories kind of existed in the background of medicine for a long time. They were a necessary evil, I will say. Everybody gets blood tests. Every doctor needs that to diagnose their patients and to treat their patients, but nobody really wanted to talk about the laboratory industry. Well, with COVID and being so widespread and every laboratory out there performing these tests, it's really brought the industry into the light, so to speak. So there's a lot of attention on laboratories now, both from the consumer and the government as well.
Well, that's a perfect segue into recognition, right? Recognition of labs, and that's what we're here for, recognizing all the professionals like yourself and all the people working in the labs. What we try to stress with our people who are out in the field collecting samples and bringing them to you is, imagine if this was your mom or your child or somebody important to you. This is not just pick it up and drop it off.
Right.
So when we talk about the people that we need out there collecting the stuff, it's like these people, we need people who can think, because you have frozen, you have refrigerated, you have ambient, there's a lot of different things that people have to know. So recognizing that this really is important, recognizing the challenges, and that's why we're here, to recognize all the professionals like yourself, the people doing the work in the labs and that. So thank you to the medical lab professionals. Thank you for taking some time to join us. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your partnership, and it's been great. Look forward to working with you for many more years to come.
No, I'm very appreciative of what you and your team have done for us over the years. You're probably one of the longest term vendors that we've had in terms of since I've been with Sunrise. And again, that level of service that you and attention that your organization gives ours makes our life a whole lot easier. So,
Well, thank
very
you.
appreciative of
Thank
that.
you. Yeah, we appreciate you as well, and it's it's kind of interesting to hear price got you in the door, but service keeps you there, right?
That's it.
You
That's
know,
it.
and that's same with your business, right? People, everybody's worried about price, but there's a price to pay for good service and
There really
providing
is.
the service that people need.
Yeah, I have that argument all the time with our sales
I'm
folks.
sure you do. So, again, thank you for taking some time out of your day and joining us, and we appreciate you very much, and we appreciate all you professionals out there. Thank you.